Hey guys, I have quite a story to tell you. It's really quite a story. Just hang with me. Check this out. So, obviously, last year was horrible, awful. I lost so many people I love, and then January of 2021 started off even worse because my beloved bestie, my daddy, died to COVID. He's the toughest fireman on the earth, and I've had such a hard time with that. Now, the other part of the story, during that time when I was at home, like everyone else, and just really having so sad, I still am, but I had something rather miraculous happen. When I was on NCIS for all those years, I often had gifts sent to me from around the world. Anything, all kinds of things. Dolls and t-shirts and gifts. I mean, just, it was really amazing. Lots and lots of things, but sometimes it would be overwhelming just the amount of things that I had to go through. And at some point, I had this box given to me, and I had put it in a chair downstairs, and it was just there. So after Daddy died, I was just walking through a room like I've done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. And for some reason on that day, I turned around and I went, I wonder what's in that box. So I went over to this box and I opened it. And this is what I find. A thumb drive. A challenge coin, and a letter from Camp Dwyer Fire Department in Afghanistan. And with that, it says that this certifies this flag was proudly flown on the fire trucks in commemoration of September 11th. And then I have the flag. So it's a mystery, and I can't figure it out. So I start reading, and I found out the other thing that was in here was this letter that was written to me. Don't worry, I'm not going to go through 2 pages, but I'm just going to, you'll see. So it starts off, and it says, "My name is Mark Stanley. I'm the station captain with the Dwyer Fire and Emergency Services in Dwyer, Afghanistan." And then it goes on this beautiful letter talking about what they're doing there and how it feels, and then explaining the things in here about the flag and the shirt and everything that he sent. And he just says that they're big fans and that they would watch NCIS over there. And I mean, I was so humbled. They decided to send me this box with the flag, and I'm like, wow. So that was already pretty incredible. Then it gets to this. He says, he introduces everyone in the crew, and then he says, "Then there's me, Mark Stanley, aka Stan. I live in Montgomery, Alabama, but I was raised in Eclectic, which is 10 miles from your father's house." That's where I grew up, in the woods in Alabama. I've been a firefighter and paramedic my entire life. And I started crying. I could not believe what I had just read. Eclectic is our little partner place right next to Equality, Alabama, where I grew up. And Daddy's assistant fire chief there, those were partner fire stations. And of all things, this letter from Afghanistan from 2010, 11 years ago. And I found it right when I needed it. And the fact that I mean, it was so many emotions. And then more, I was determined to find this Mark Stanley and thank him for this. And just the unbelievable and God timing of me having this adventure with this box. And unfortunately, I did some research and I found his obituary, and he had passed away a few years ago, which I immediately felt terrible about because I wish I could have spoken with him and thanked him for the gift, but then the real gift kind of ended up being the timing as well. But what I did do is I tracked down, it took me all day, but I tracked down another one of the team members that's in the photo. His name's Michael. And it turns out that he has ties to Prattville, Alabama, which is where half my family lives. And I also had worked there with John Walsh, working on a child murder there. So I've spoken in Prattville. There's a lot that goes on there, but I ended up calling the Prattville Fire Department. I called all these people, all these different fire departments, trying to find this guy Michael, which turns out he is out in California now. But we ended up talking on the phone. I finally got in touch with them. Everyone I called, I was like, hey, it's Pauley Perrette. And they're like, no, it's not. And I'm like, no, it actually is. So I had to tell the story quite a few times. I appreciate every single person all the way along the way that got me to one of the team members. So I wanted to document this, and I wanted to share this beautiful story with you and the amazing things that God does, because I am returning the flag to the guys that sent it to me all these years ago. It's amazing. Well,